Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how the MCU's live-action Miles Morales would break a rule in Marvel just introduced apparently. And I just read the headline of a screenwriting article, so let's give this read because you guys know I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. If you guys didn't know, my favorite, I have to say, probably my favorite Marvel hero of all time has to be Spider-Man, the Peter Parker version mostly. Um, but I've seen all of the Spider-Man movies. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and even the Into the Spiderverse Spider-Man movies. I've seen them all in theaters, and they were a blast to watch. And now, apparently, if we get in No Way Home by Electro and the Amazing Spider-Man conversation towards the end of the movie about, hey, bet there's gonna be a black Spider-Man. They kind of tease Miles Morales, but let's give this a read, shall we? The transition of Miles Morales to live action in the MCU would break a rule Marvel introduced in Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. The film was a sequel to 2018's Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse and massively expanded the world of its predecessor. The introduction of the Spider Society saw a much deeper exploration of the titular Spider-Verse and opened the door to hundreds of possibilities. The various Easter eggs found in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was a testament to this, with countless variants of web slingers appearing throughout the movie. One of the specific possibilities of the Spider-Verse, though, could have big implications on a potential transition for Miles Morales between animated and live action. In order to achieve this, Marvel would have to break a rule established within Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Okay? So let's see what this means. So, why Spider-Verse Miles Morales can never be in live action? Oh, they're talking about the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. I thought they meant like Miles Morales as a whole. Okay, anyways. The rule in question is that the Spider-Verse animated characters would stay animated even in a live action universe. This was exemplified by Spot, the film's villain. At one point in the film, Spot is testing out his new abilities and transporting himself between different universes. One of the Spider-Man universes in Across the Spider-Verse was that Sony's Venom film with Spot talking to Mrs. Chen, the store clerk from Tom Hardy's movies. Despite Miss Chen appearing at her usual self, Spot was still animated in a scene that blended live action and the distinct style of the Spider-Verse movie animation. Okay, fair point. But they also go into another scene that also blended live action and animation was a cameo appearance of Donald Glover's Aaron Davis. Davis was revealed as a prisoner in Spider Society, played by Glover in a payoff of his appearance in Spider-Man Homecoming. The scene also had Glover in his normal live action format, conversing with the animated Miles. This established the Spider-Verse Miles could never appear in live action, as he would stay in the animated format of his original universe. Okay, but that's like Miles Morales of his own universe. Like, as far as I'm aware, the MCU does not have Miles Morales that was introduced. Sure, it had Aaron Davis introduced in the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie as Donald Glover, sure. But we never got introduced to Miles Morales. So, like, I always felt like even though yes, the Into the Spider-Verse that were like multiple versions of Spider-Man across the years, but always felt like Miles Morales was in his own universe per se. That unless of like the MCU decides to bring in their own Miles Morales, there's like well, obviously I felt like they're always going to be like two separate things, like two separate versions of Miles Morales per se. So, anyways, the MCU has to recast Miles Morales. This therefore means the MCU has to recast Miles Morales rather than transition Spider-Verse variant to the MCU timeline. Naturally, this rule introduced in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is one obstacle stopping Sony's Miles variant from crossing over the MCU. Another is the actor who voices Miles, Shamik Moore. While Moore's voice is perfect for Miles in the Spider-Verse film, the actor is a little old to bring a teenage Miles to life in the MCU. More than 30 in 2025, and MCU version of Miles would need to be around 15, 16 years old. This all points to Miles being recast in the MCU, which will hopefully come with a planned Spider-Man 4 star Tom Holland, avoiding the rule re-established by Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in process. This is acting like the Spider-Verse Miles Morales is part of the MCU when he's not. Like, I love that Spider-Verse and Miles Morales. I also love the PS4 or the PlayStation version of Miles Morales, like the character, and well, the game was good. It's just I love fans. This game, it's just a fancy DLC for this game, in my humble opinion. But I do like the character. I don't mind the character of Miles Morales. I do think that if Miles Morales is Spider-Man at the same time as Peter Parker, then Miles Morales should take on a different name. Maybe just call it the Spider. Spider-Man the Spider. I think that would be better than having, okay, here's Spider-Man and here's Spider-Man, but what Spider-Man are you talking about? Sure, you can go by red one and black one, but then, at the same time, you run the risk of some people who are overly sensitive saying, why are you bringing race into it when it's just like costume, right? My point is, they're acting like the Spider-Verse Spider-Man is part of the MCU when it's not. This version of Miles Morales is not part of the MCU. It's in its own universe. Same with the Spider-Verse Miles Morales that, sure, has multiple Spider-Man from multiple universes. But the truth of the matter is, there's not going to be any recasts involved. Why won't there be any recasts involved? Because, again, we never got a MCU's version of Miles Morales in the first place. Maybe Uncle Aaron, sure. Peter Parker, yes. But we never got an MCU version of Miles Morales. And you can't even say, like these villains were in the last live-action Spider-Man film. We never got an MCU version of Sandman, Lizard, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, and Electro. And before you guys jump on my ass about, yes we did, no. Sandman, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin were from the Raimi's movies. Electro, the Lizard, being the fifth one I forgot, They were from the Andrew Garfield films. I'm not counting them as MCU villains. They are Sony Spider-Man villains that so happen to be in the MCU. I'm counting that different. But my point is, when it comes to Miles Morales, technically we never got an MCU appearance of him. And I'll give you guys more of a wiggle room with Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus, Lizard, Electro, Sandman. I'll give you guys more wiggle room with those characters that so happen to be in No Way Home more than Miles Morales. You know why? Because Miles Morales, again, never made his action debut in the MCU. The other 5 characters I just mentioned, sure, they made their debut in their like respective Spider-Man, whether it's Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, but they also guest starred in a Marvel film. So that's why I'm giving guys will be more open to giving guys some sort of leeway with those characters, the Sinister Five essentially, than I would with Miles Morales at this point. And until we get a live-action debut of Miles Morales in the MCU, which will, if we do, most likely would be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, like this suggests, I will refuse to acknowledge anything to do with Miles Morales outside of Aaron Morales, who is Miles Morales' uncle. That's about it. So clearly Miles Morales has to be out in the MCU somewhere, but he hasn't made his debut in the MCU, is my point. With that said, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, and I apologize. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Kind of one other. I will talk to you, fellow mutants, later.